short, but we'll keep it short and sweet. I think the most alluring um, like concept of it, like when I tell my friends about it, I always start with like this woman Barbara is building this global art installation project where you can like imagine going to a piece of artwork in the world and being able to also at the same time listen to someone's story. And love comes in so many forms, and the stories that I've listened to on your podcast, they're all very like, people are like, oh, but I don't have like a special love story. I'm like, everyone has love stories. um, and even just your perspective on a relationship or falling into that space of love or out of that space of love is fascinating.
Exactly.
And how much more intimate does a piece of artwork when you're listening to someone share that? All these different perspectives. And the thing that I feel like people, they just like kind of spark up at like, they just start thinking from there, and then that's where it starts to, that's how I enter it anyways. That's where I'm finding people are like, what is this? Who is
Yeah. This is also my research, how strangers can connect.
Yeah.
It's interesting how the difference, for example, between the conversation I've had with people I already knew. Some of them are friends, and some of them are complete strangers.
Yes. So was there a difference? Did you feel a difference?
After a while, not really. I mean, after a while, it's just you feel the humanity, you feel the, but maybe we can do this with a glass of wine or with.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I love that.
In different occasions. So you chill out. And if you don't have something, if you are not in a rush and you can take your time, it's better. Because
tell me, Barbara, like if I was to start this session, I was like, I am here, I want to share, I've got something in me, but I'm not sure which one to share and I'm a little nervous. Can you lead me in? How would you start that with me? How would you get to know me?
I would say to you, think without thinking about one click moment that when you felt, for example, like, oh, that face, it's home, or that voice, the voice or the face of that person feels like home. Or on the opposite side, sometimes it happens that you feel in a moment, you feel that something has broken. It's not working anymore, but it's not even rational. You rationalize it afterwards. But then when I ask you, tell me that click moments when you realized it was your person or it was not that person anymore. You don't have to start from the very beginning. You can pick a love story or a moment from whatever. I mean, time is like a bubble. You can choose
like a bubble
from whatever moment. It's not linear. So
no, I love that. The first thing, I don't know if you want me to go into it, but like just even that question, like when did you have the click moment of like, whoa, this is special? Or when did you have the click moment of like, whoa, this is no longer? I've had like 5 instances pop in my mind already and being like, that is a very powerful moment. And what did that moment lead to? And what was I feeling during it? Is, and when you said, is it someone's eyes? Was it someone's voice? Was it someone's hands? I love that. That's so true.
And it's so universal.
But I'm just realizing right now, I'm like, how often do I go back and sit about my click moments and like revisit them and like look at them and feel them out again and like feel them for a second time or a third time or a 100th time, because those are such powerful moments. And so it's like even going through these stories, or when I was listening to someone else's and I was listening to yours, I was reliving my own stories by listening through someone else thinking about their relationship. And the parts that you picked out were very interesting. I didn't, like, you're right, I didn't need a beginning, a middle, or an end. We just hopped in and someone was talking about the end of a relationship. And I didn't need to know the person's name. I didn't need to know what their entire story was.
Right.
But she was recounting, like, I was just there, and nothing of those details mattered. So that, you're right, it doesn't have to be linear.
Yes.
Yes.
There's another Baci Sospesi conversation where a man talks about a click moment. He met in Venice a girl. Wow. They had been writing as pen pals for a couple of years, and they met in Venice. And he, in the conversation in Baci Sospesi, he tells the moment when he arrives at Venice station with the train and sees her, and she was sitting waiting for him, and he sees her and he realizes that she's going to be the love of his life and his wife. And the way he says that, it's like a matter of seconds, it's a phrase.
Crazy.
But it's so powerful that the power of Baci Sospesi is not just stories, it's the way the people tell their stories that it's universal. That emotion is universal. So
tell me about, now that you've heard people share that click moment with you, like just that gentleman seeing this woman after being a pen pal and having that moment of being like, it's almost like a flash forward. Like, how do you explain, even with your story as well, how do you conceptualize or explain or think about when our conscious knows that that person is going to be part of our life when they could be complete strangers? What is that? Like, how do you look into someone's eyes and be like, oh my goodness, you're going to be in my life in some significant way? And I know that without even knowing that. Why? How does that happen?
I often say that I remember the future, because it happens to me, and it's happened to me many times in my life, that I have this kind of strange sensation that a person, generally, if it's really profound, it's mutual. Yeah. And maybe it's not, oh, okay, you're going to be in my life forever. But
no, I'm so grateful you're doing this project, and I'm going to ask your perspective on what you want people to take away. But for me, hearing about other stories allows me to live that moment multiple times with other people, and kind of gives me strength in some weird offshoot kind of way. What was your inspiration? What do you hope people receive by both sharing their stories with you and or listening to the stories that you've collected over time? How did you come to, like, you keep using this language like universal, this is universal, and there's these moments that we all share. Like, what do you want to walk away with having gained?
What I want is a portrait of humans, a sound portrait with voices, not with faces, but with voices, with stories, with emotions that you can hear in their voices. And the thing that I want to explore is what unites us. I think that humans are just one race. There are no races. It's just one. And there are many colors and, features, and we are all different. Each human is unique, but we are all connected by this profound human need of connection. We are connected by connection, the need of connection. It's not just a need, it's like a certainty and hope. It's a mixture of certainty and hope that somebody out there is good for you, and you can trust somebody out there.
So I'm so grateful for you're doing this project, because I think it's like, as a concept, it's so big and intimate, but when you hear a glimpse, the feeling of like, I'm connected to this person in this moment of time, hearing their voice and walking them through this, through hearing other people's love stories, you do start to understand humans and fall in love with more ways,
and you understand yourself better, because
so much better. Yes, that's it. You do so much better. And I love the idea of doing it with a glass of wine.
Yeah, it was
just special. But yeah, I would really recommend sharing some of the pieces that you have regularly. Lead people into listening. And I think the
Yeah.
more that they listen, and then again, that follow up, if as the note at the bottom every time, I'd love to interview you and love to share your story over a glass of wine, but listen first, because I think they need the concept, they need to feel it.
Grazie. Thank you
Okay.
so much, Maxine.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure spending time with you.